Three news stories as usual, viewers. Firstly, we'll talk about Dessie. What's happening on Dessie? TDF was saying that it was about to enter Dessie. It was in the outskirts of Dessie. Reportedly, TDF had delivered a message to the elders of Dessie to make ENDF and Amhara forces leave Dessie. What happened after that? Is TDF still close to Dessie? Since yesterday, I've been updating you about Gondar front, about Waghimra Gondar. What about Dessie? I have some updates for you. Secondly, was Afar front, Afar, Amhara front. We talked about fighting between Tigray Defense Force and Afar forces in Zobel Mountains on Tigray-Afar border. Afar forces have not joined Amhara forces so far, though Amhara news sources say that Afar forces have joined the fighting in Kobo. But we have a video showing Afar forces on Zobel Mountains. Zobel Mountains are on Afar Amhara border. Does this video mean that Afar forces have joined Amhara forces in Kobo to the west of Zobel? That's not clear, viewers. But this video shows that there is presence of Afar forces on Amhara Afar border. Firstly, we'll talk about EU's humanitarian air bridge. Almost a week ago, first flight of EU's humanitarian air bridge for Tigray landed in Addis Ababa. The flight was carrying humanitarian aid. The aid was thoroughly checked, and medicines and some other types of aid supplies were withheld, and some aid supplies were allowed, and this flight then after clearance took off for Mekelle. Now, what happened after that? If EU has established a humanitarian air bridge for Tigray, how many flights have been conducted so far by EU? Just one flight in more than a week. Can we say that it is an air bridge by the EU for the supply of aid to Tigray? Well, an air bridge means that continuously flights will arrive in Addis Ababa, then they'll head towards Mekelle. We have seen just one flight so far. Secondly, if EU has some reservations about checking clearance in Addis Ababa by Ethiopian government authorities, EU should make its reservations public. We haven't heard so far from EU that its first flight of the air bridge it faced some problems in Addis Ababa. So if EU has announced an air bridge for Tigray, it must implement as well. So far, the implementation is nowhere to be seen. Just one flight has landed with some supplies. Now, Afar viewers, Afar Amhara border areas, we have been talking about TDF fighting Afar forces on Afar Amhara border areas in Zobel Mountains. I did a video on that. TDF has withdrawn from Afar, from zone 2, from zone 4, but fighting was reported in Zobel Mountains, which are to the east of Kobo. Amhara news sources say that Afar forces have joined Amhara forces in Kobo. We have no confirmation so far. We can only confirm there is presence of Afar forces on Afar Amhara border. Some fighting did take place there, but are Afar forces in Kobo? That's not clear so far. Now, lastly, Dessie viewers, what's happening on this front? Since last night, I have been updating you about Gondar, about the bridge blown up by Amhara forces between Waghemra and South Gondar. What about Dessie? TDF was saying it was about to enter Dessie. It was in the outskirts of Dessie. And TPLF, Tigray allied news sources were saying that TDF had delivered a message to the elders of Dessie that tell these Amhara forces ENDF to withdraw from Dessie. Don't take up arms against us. Well, now what we have received, some fresh reports, they indicate that TDF has been pushed back from Dessie city. TDF was very close to Dessie. Dessie was within TDF's artillery range. Just 20-30 kilometer distance was between TDF and Dessie. But reportedly, TDF has been pushed back from Dessie front. How far has it been pushed back? That's the question, viewers. 2 days ago, Tigray's Central Command issued a statement about ongoing fighting. In that statement, it talked about Marsa. It said that a key town to the southeast of Marsa had been taken by Tigray Defense Force. The town is Gorbo Abo. Gorbo Abo town to the southeast of Marsa is under TDF. According to this statement issued by Tigray Central Command 2 days ago. Amhara news sources say that TDF has been pushed back towards Voldia. What we have received so far, it seems that TDF is now somewhere close to Marsa, like Girana, Marsa, Vichale. TDF is not now positioned in the outskirts of Dessie. It has been pushed back from Dessie. That is why we're not hearing anything from Dessie. We haven't heard any advance by TDF into the city or in the outskirts of city as well. TDF has been pushed back from Dessie city towards Marsa. That is what we can confirm.